Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last update about Unfortunate Love was how Balwinder mentioned Neelam's name on Malishka's order. So Malishka told Balwinder to mention Neelam's name or Lakshmi's name in case he gets caught, and that was exactly what Balwinder did. So let's continue from there. Balwinder gets locked in Rishi's bathroom because he was running away from Rishi and Ayush. Rishi and Ayush comes there. They hear Balwinder trying to open the door. Rishi says it is my room bathroom and the door is jammed. Rishi and Ayush tries to open the door, but they couldn't. Rishi says it is good for Balwinder, so he should stay there. Ayush tells Rishi that Balwinder will not go and call the carpenter in the night. Ayush goes to Balwinder and says, I have locked the door. Now it will not open. He says, I will not leave you. Ayush says, I will play kabaddi with you. Balwinder says, I am not afraid of Mr. Obrey, and Ayush asks Balwinder to stay there all night. Balwinder tries to wash his hands, but the water doesn't come in the tap. He thinks that Malishka should come and do something. Malishka comes there and tells Rishi that Balwinder is not there. Rishi asks Ayush to lock the door and gives him the key. He says we cannot take risk. His friends can come here. Malishka asks what? Rishi says Balwinder is locked in my bathroom, so I am getting my room locked as well. Malishka recalls asking Balwinder to escape, and she will give him 5,000 to lie. Ayush locks the door and asks Rishi to keep one key and says he will keep the other. Malishka says, give me one key. Ayush says, I don't trust you for now. Malishka asks Rishi if he heard what Ayush said. Rishi says it is Ayush's mind. What can I say? Balwinder thinks that he had left his childhood love Neha, and he would have left Lakshmi too, and he wouldn't have been in this mess. He knocks on the bathroom door. Rishi tells Virendra that his bathroom door was locked. He says we have to call the carpenter in the morning. Lakshmi says there is no need to call the carpenter. She says if you put coconut oil on the door hinges, then it would open by itself. Lakshmi wants to go and open the door. Rishi gives Lakshmi their room key and asks Ayush to go and help her. Lakshmi and Ayush goes. Rishi asks everyone that how did Balwinder's friends enter the house. Virendra says this is true. The door was locked by Mukesh, so how did Balwinder's friends came in? Devika says someone is here who is helping Balwinder. Karishma says how is that possible? We all are family members, so who would have done this? Ahana says Malishka and Kiran auntie are also here. They all looked at Malishka. Malishka pretends and says one window was open, and she tells them that Balwinder tried to elope from there. Lakshmi comes there with Ayush and says now the door is fine and it is not jammed anymore, but Balwinder has locked the door from inside and he refused to come out. Ayush says I asked Balwinder to come out, but he did not. Rishi says Balwinder will say the truth in the morning. Malishka asks that what change will come into Balwinder that will make him confess the truth in the morning, and Kiran also says the same. Rishi says that Balwinder did not sleep and he will not sleep tonight also, and he will be tired and he will spit out everything that is in his mind. Ayush says the culprit will be in front of us by tomorrow and we will all know who told Balwinder about Lakshmi's pregnancy. Grandma tells Rishi and others that Balwinder was our driver and he is an ordinary person, but now he is the one who took away our sleep. Grandma says that she would undo Balwinder tomorrow. Virendra says mom. Grandma says yes. Ayush says grandma. Grandma says yes, your grandma. She says I will ask Balwinder and he will tell me the truth. Neelam asks grandma that what will you do? Karishma asks that what can you do? Grandma asks them to just wait and watch and says whoever is our enemy should think that their reverse timing has started now and they will be exposed. Malishka thinks that everyone is behind me. What should I do? Balwinder feels pain and he yearns to get alcohol. He thinks to join gym and drink much alcohol. Rishi tells Lakshmi that let Balwinder be there and says he is tired. Lakshmi asks Rishi to sleep. Rishi says no and he thanks Lakshmi for her idea to stop Balwinder from escaping. Lakshmi says Balwinder should not escape because they have to find out the truth. Rishi says I will be awake all night so that Balwinder will not escape. Lakshmi asks Rishi to sleep and says she will be awake. Rishi asks Lakshmi if she is not a human and he asks her to sleep. Lakshmi says she was awake for many nights. Rishi asks Lakshmi to sleep. Lakshmi says no, go and sleep. Rishi asks Lakshmi that why are you behaving like a typical wife? Lakshmi tells Rishi that she is his wife. Rishi says but I am not a typical husband who agrees to his wife's sayings. He says he will not sleep, but he started yawning. Lakshmi smiles. Rishi says, I am a human. Even Lakshmi yawns. Rishi says, what do you do to get rid of sleep? Lakshmi asks, should I make black coffee for you? Rishi says, okay. And then he stops her and says, you might go to make the tea and I might fall asleep. Lakshmi tells Rishi that she has an idea, and she tells him that she used to be awake with her friends during exam and they used to do this. Rishi asks that what should they do? Lakshmi asks Rishi to look into her eyes without blinking his eyelashes. Rishi says those who are in love do such things and their sleep goes away. Rishi says, I am not going to do it. Lakshmi says okay and says, I will tell everyone that you had slept and I was awake, and Rishi takes the pillow and keeps it in his lap. Sonia asks Malishka if she did the conspiracy to make Balwinder escape, and she asks her to go and confess the truth to her mom. She says, I will talk to mom and explain to her that you did this to throw Lakshmi away from here. Kiran says to Sonia that you don't know how your mom would react and says they will throw Malishka out instead. Kiran asks Sonia if she wants Lakshmi to be her sister-in-law. Sonia says no, I just want Malishka to be my sister-in-law. Sonia goes to get water. Kiran asks Malishka if Sonia is trustable. Malishka tells Kiran that Sonia likes her very much and she will not do this thing. Kiran says you did bad with yourself. Malishka asks Kiran if she will take Lakshmi's side and says if I would have won, then you would have praised me. Kiran says who can stop the destiny moves? Malishka says I will change my own destiny and I will write Rishi in my hands. Rishi and Lakshmi looks at each other while staring into each other's eyes. Rishi asks Lakshmi not to smile. He asks Lakshmi that why are we sitting like this, like lovers? Lakshmi asks if Rishi is getting sleep. Rishi says no. Lakshmi says your sleep will go. This remedy is tested. He says let's see. He asks her not to correct his Hindi, else it will correct her English. Lakshmi says to Rishi that this remedy is an Hindu word. Rishi says let me see you, and he asks her to talk with her eyes. They look at each other. Malishka comes there and sees Rishi and Lakshmi having an eye lock. She coughs, but they are still looking into each other's eyes. She asks what is happening. Rishi says it is a remedy. Lakshmi says remedy. Rishi says he was feeling sleepy, but now he is feeling good. Rishi says to Malishka that Lakshmi has this awesome idea and says hat off to Lakshmi. He says really great and amazing. He says very good, Mrs. Lakshmi Oberoi. Great personality. Malishka asks Rishi if Lakshmi's idea is so good, then I want to see how it works. She says you and me, and Malishka sits to look at Rishi. Rishi looks at Lakshmi while looking at Malishka. Malishka asks Rishi to look at her. Rishi says leave it, you cannot do it. I am feeling fresh now. He knocks on the bathroom door and asks Balwinder if he slept in the pod. He says tomorrow is the last day for you here, and he asks Balwinder to sleep tonight. Rishi asks Malishka to go and sleep and take rest. Malishka goes angrily from there. Rishi asks that what happened. Lakshmi says it is nothing new. Malishka is always angry. Rishi says maybe Malishka did not understand your remedy. Lakshmi says remedy. Rishi says let's try it again. They begin to look at each other again, and Lakshmi smiles. Grandma takes the wine bottle in her hand. Ayush asks that what am I seeing you doing in this age? He asks that why is Grandma holding the wine? Grandma asks Ayush to follow her. Balwinder washes his face. Rishi thinks that Balwinder is hiding in my washroom. I have to use Sonia's room bathroom due to Balwinder, and Rishi goes out. Malishka sees Rishi coming and she pretends to see cockroach and she hugs Rishi forcefully. Rishi asks that why do girls have phobia? He sees Lakshmi going from there and says cockroach went that way, and he asks Malishka that what is she doing. Malishka hugs Rishi again and smiles. Lakshmi comes inside and says to Malishka that this room is not mine, but the husband is still mine, and she asks Malishka to stay away. Lakshmi tells Rishi that she will talk to him later, and she asks him to behave when strange girl stays in their house. Lakshmi holds Rishi's hand and take him away from there. Malishka looks on. Balwinder thinks that God should make him drink alcohol somehow. Grandma pours the alcohol in the bathroom. Balwinder gets the smell and thinks that is this how rich people's bathrooms smell. He sees the wine flowing in the bathroom and he tastes it, touching it, and he asks that who poured it inside. Give it to me. Is it Rishi? Balwinder licks the floor and asks the person to give him the wine and says you can slap me, but give me the wine. Grandma asks Balwinder to come out and she opens the door. She tells Ayush that he will do their outing. Balwinder says open the door. Grandma opens the door. Balwinder comes out and drinks the wine. He says you have come as my savior, and he finished the wine bottle. Grandma asks if Balwinder's thirst has gone away. Balwinder asks for the third bottle. Grandma asks Balwinder to come out, and she asks Ayush to take the bottles. Lakshmi asks Rishi that what was he doing. Rishi asks Lakshmi to say it clearly. Lakshmi says I cannot say it, but you were with Malishka, and Malishka was hugging you. Rishi says to Lakshmi that Malishka saw cockroach and she hugged me being scared. He asks that why are you staring at me? He says you would understand this when you see cockroach or insect. Lakshmi says insect had come in Malishka's mind to get closer to you, and Rishi says hug is a normal thing for us. Lakshmi asks Rishi that with what mission did Malishka hug him. Rishi asks Lakshmi if she thinks that he is a low-grade person to take advantage of a girl. Lakshmi says I am asking what was in Malishka's mind. Rishi asks Lakshmi to ask about him. Lakshmi asks that what is in Rishi's mind when Malishka hugged him. Rishi says what I would have done was in my mind. Lakshmi says to Rishi that you let Malishka hug you and says I am your wife and I am saying the truth. She says I am your wife, and if my husband did something like this, then will I bear this? Rishi says you are not understanding it. Lakshmi says Malishka will take you with her if she sees lizard, then you will go with her. Rishi asks that why is Lakshmi talking like a typical wife, and Malishka comes there. Rishi whispers to Malishka's ears. Malishka asks what? She comes near Lakshmi and hugs Lakshmi. Lakshmi asks that what are you doing? Malishka says she hugged Lakshmi because Rishi wanted it. Rishi says Malishka hugged him like hugging Lakshmi. Lakshmi smiles and she asks Malishka not to do it again. Malishka says she will not hug Lakshmi again. Lakshmi says to Malishka that I am talking about my husband. Don't hug my husband again. Malishka says Rishi is my would-be husband. Lakshmi says for now, he is my husband, and that is why you should stay away from him. And she thanks her for accepting Rishi's talks. Malishka thinks that are they playing games with me? She says the husband and wife will make me mad. Grandma brings Balwinder downstairs and tells everyone that she will end the grieving today. She says she will make Balwinder say the truth. Rishi says I would handle Balwinder. He might hurt you. Grandma asks Rishi to stay there and says I am holding Balwinder's weak point. She says I made Balwinder drink and I took him into my control. Now Balwinder will speak the truth. Rishi appreciates Grandma. Grandma asks Balwinder to tell everyone who told him about Lakshmi's pregnancy. Balwinder says everyone is after me and says I might come to know from the hospital nurse. He says Lakshmi, Malishka or Neelam must have told him and he has come here on their orders. Rishi says Balwinder is out of control and he asks Balwinder to say the truth. Balwinder says how can I tell you? Should I pierce my chest and tell you? Grandma asks Balwinder to talk. Balwinder holds Lakshmi's hand and takes the wine bottle and breaks it. He keeps the bottle on Lakshmi's neck and he threatens to kill her. He says he got his strength back after he drank wine. He says don't test my strength, else you will do Lakshmi's 13th-day death anniversary. He asks Rishi if he understood and says Ravan would win. Balwinder holds Lakshmi captive and says he would marry Lakshmi even if she doesn't want to. Ayush says Balwinder. Balwinder asks Ayush to take his name with respect. He says he can do anything. Lakshmi asks Balwinder to leave her. Balwinder says I will marry you. Rishi hits Balwinder. Balwinder attacks on Rishi's hand and he injures him and he runs away. Rishi wanted to run and catch Balwinder. Lakshmi stops Rishi from going behind him. Rishi says let me go and catch him. Lakshmi says let him run. Rishi says how will I let him go? I will not die. Lakshmi asks Rishi not to say this again. Rishi says I will not say it, but let me go. Lakshmi says you will not go. Never. Ayush asks Rishi not to worry and says I will catch Balwinder as I saw the dream too. Ahana asks Ayush to go and catch Balwinder and not to leave him. Ayush says okay and he goes. Malishka asks Neelam if she saw what happened. Neelam asks what to see. She scolded Rishi for risking his life. Rishi asks didn't you see what Balwinder was doing with Lakshmi? And Neelam asks Rishi that will you risk your life for Lakshmi? Karishma blames Lakshmi for hurting Rishi. Lakshmi says Rishi is injured. Rishi asks that why are you all blaming Lakshmi? Neelam asks Malishka to bandage Rishi's hand and says this girl Lakshmi is inauspicious for my family. Grandma says it is not Lakshmi's mistake, but my mistake. She asks Lakshmi to do the bandage and Lakshmi cleans Rishi's injury. Virendra calls the doctor and asks him to come fast as Rishi is hurt. Rishi tells Lakshmi that he is fine. Lakshmi asks, "Why did you do this? I told you that nothing should happen to you. I asked you to take care." She says, "What was the need to risk your life for me?" Rishi says, "You also do so much for me. Did I say anything?" Lakshmi looks at Rishi. A song plays in the background and they continue to look at each other. Out of all the actors and actresses in this series, Neelam's character always amazed me because how can Lakshmi always risk her life every single time to save Rishi, who happens to be your son, and it is forbidden for Rishi to save Lakshmi anytime she is in trouble? Really? Anyways guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.